There is a social responsibility in becoming a filmmaker, a director. The medium speaks to so many people at the same time. The reach is wide. And so when you send out a message, when you project a message or you speak about something, you have a social responsibility because that is going to affect people. It's on you how they will change.
Ano yung, for those aspiring to enter the film industry, ano yung siguro qualities that make you successful in?
Attention to detail, reading between the lines, the subtext, because not everything is on the script.
Minsan, may sablay na parang ayoko na magpakita ulit. Di mo na ako makikita bukas. Meron ka bang mga ganun na moment?
When I did Mara Clara the movie, first day pa lang, oh my goodness, nagre-resign na ako. Kasi talagang from the first sequence all the way sa midnight, pinapagalitan ako because of wrong continuity. Don't think I'm cut out for the job. Maybe I'll go back to being a PA na lang.
Your storytelling, your style. Meron bang distinct na direct may na style of storytelling? Mae Cruz-Alviar is a Filipino film and television director who has been active in the industry since the mid-1990s. She's best known for directing a string of popular mainstream Filipino films, especially in the romantic comedy and drama genres, and several well-loved television series, which include Bride for Rent, Crazy Beautiful You, Can't Help Falling in Love, recently the movie Love You So Bad, and Rewind, a drama that became a major box office hit that reached record-breaking earnings for Filipino films. Mae has been nominated and recognized in major Filipino film awards and directing work, which include Asian Academy Creative Awards, MMFF, FAMAS Awards, with Best Director nominations. She is a woman who is humble and who stays true to her values. Join us and welcome to the Mad Jeepney Show.
Hop on! The Mad Jeepney!
Rewind was maybe one of the, if not the most successful movies, maybe the past years. I think last year it was the most successful MMFF movie. But before all that success, how did Direct Mae actually start as a filmmaker?
Well, how did I start? I started as a production assistant from the bottom. That's how I started. Because during that time, we didn't have the filmmaking was really film, as in negative. So mahal gumawa ng pelikula. So you can't just like now you can jump in and do your own film, and
Yeah.
it's cheaper because it's digital. Back then, wala kaming ganong opportunities. We didn't have those opportunities. So the way to do, to enter the industry, to become a director, which is just always my dream, was to enter the industry, mainstream. So, and the only opportunity available was to become a production assistant. I tried, ang kapal ng mukha ko, no? I said, I want to go for a higher position. And then they said, no, it's better if you become a PA first. And then my impression of a PA is someone na nagtitimpla ng kape and all that. So parang ako, ayoko, parang ang baba ng ano. I didn't go to UP for that. Yabang, no? But then they said, when you become a PA, you get a bird's eye view, or at least you get to see all the positions. And later on, you might realize it's not directing that you really want. Maybe it's something else. And because of your position, that you get to deal with all these positions, then you'll know exactly what you want. Never change naman, but
So it's like you're an on the ground generalist, and you get a view of if you want to specialize in a particular
eventually,
field.
yeah,
Okay.
eventually. So, but it didn't change. I still wanted to be a director, but that was my position. So, PA, script continuity. After script continuity, I became an assistant director. But talagang I rose from the ranks as in talagang climbing the ladder. And it was a tough and high ladder, and it was a difficult climb. Mahirap siyang trabaho.
You mentioned that you've always wanted to be a director. When did you realize that that's what you wanted to do with your life?
You know, ever since I was a kid, I loved watching television. I mean, addict ako, TV addict. Memorize ko yung commercials, and then I know the programming every day
Wow.
because I was watching every day. I was glued to the TV. And then afternoons, dapat nagsisiesta yung mga bata. I don't take my naps because I watch the afternoon
Talaga?
programs, Tagalog movies, the old ones, the black and white films. So I was a fan of those films.
Usually, when children or anyone watches film, they usually want to be the actor. You wanted to be the director. I mean, ako nung iniisip ko lang, di ba? Parang as a child watching a movie or a show, di ko nga alam na may director eh. So how did you piece that together na it's actually more the storytelling or the directorship behind the scenes that you
You
were
know, I
interested
honestly
in?
didn't know about positions when I
Yeah.
was a kid. I would say siguro I'm the storyteller.
Okay.
I would be the one like Barbie dolls. I've
Okay.
told this story so many times, but when we used to play with Barbie dolls, may kwento. Hindi pwedeng like we're just dressing them up. Although this is the Barbie that's evil. This is the
Okay.
Barbie that's like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
And then this is what's gonna happen. And then, mami, nagiiyakan na yung kids kasi nagiging, we're so into the story.
Yeah.
And then, Flores de Mayo, every summer, merong yung culmination na parang program. So, instead of like dancing, the usual, what kids do, I did a skit.
Okay.
And I'm the one who directed it. Oh, this is what's gonna happen. This
You
is
were
the
how young?
story. 8, 7,
Wow.
mga ganon.
So parang meant to be talaga and calling mo
Yeah.
talaga.
It's like, I really feel na, God plants seeds in us. Those interests, talents, or, passions, it's been there. And that was for me. It was directing. It's not like I never wanted to be a performer. I did perform when I was in grade 5. I played Miss Hannigan.
Oh, okay. Kontrabida.
Kontrabida. Syempre, I like the more interesting character,
Yeah,
di ba?
yeah.
But I played Miss Hannigan in a play, in a school play, and which I directed also.
Wow.
And then I was president of the drama club in grade 6 and grade 7. But I just felt like, one, I was parang shy to really be on stage. I prefer being parang on the sides lang, on the sidelines. And then, hindi talaga yun. And then, I was shy, and I didn't feel like I was pretty enough or good enough to be on cam. And then,
Sa lagay na yan, direct?
ha?
Sa lagay na yan?
Oo
Ganun
nga
ba
eh.
nararamdaman mo, ha?
Hindi kasi
Nahiya
parang,
naman kami.
no, kasi before, sino ba yung sikat nun? It was Lea Salonga.
Okay.
And my peg then for acting to be on stage is Lea Salonga. So parang,
Okay.
Lea Salonga, di ba?
Parang theater
Oo.
and full emotion and can do everything from singing to
When
acting.
she sings talagang
Yeah.
wow.
Ibang level.
Oo.
Yeah.
When I was in grade 4, I had this rude awakening na hindi ako magaling kumanta. So parang, I thought magaling ako. Tapos I tried to bully my way into a performance na kumanta ako. Yung pala pangit boses ko. So it traumatized me.
Okay.
After that, sabi ko, hindi na ako kakanta.
Di pala fit.
Doon na lang ako sa side.
Yeah.
So yun. But then, I've always wanted to direct. And then, in high school, when we were choosing like courses, I knew it was going to be film. I knew I wanted to be a director. And then, of course, I was learning about Laris Guillen, Marilu Diaz-Abaya. And then sabi ko, ay, gusto ko maging kagaya nila. I wanna be like them. I wanna be a female director.
Wow.
Kasi konti lang yung female directors eh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was very important for me. I wanted to be in a career too na konti lang yung females. Because I wanted to, parang,
Prove a point.
Yeah, na parang women can do it.
Yes.
So that was something for me too because we're all girls eh. Siblings, we're 4 girls. And I wanted to be in a position na parang, queen bee ako dito.
Gets. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
wala masyadong girls. But yeah, that's pretty much my story.
And you started as a production assistant. What exactly does a production assistant do?
So, well, I thought nagtitimpla lang ng kape. So, hindi pala ako ang nagtitimpla ng kape, may utility pala. Ako ang bumibili ng kape
Okay.
na titimplahin nila.
Okay.
But no, I was, during my time, what a PA used to do, Ako yung I was in charge of catering.
Catering.
So I would be in the jeep
Okay.
na nagsiserve ng food sa mga lahat ng tao. And I had to make sure that yung linagay ko na head count would fit because some would, get doubles.
Double.
So yun. And
Extra
then,
rice.
Extra.
Siyempre.
Rice is okay. But then yung
Ulam.
yun
Sakto
eh.
lang.
Kung hindi, kasi I don't eat until everyone has eaten.
Aha.
So that's
Is that a personal rule or
It was part of the
part ng
training.
training
Part of
na-
the training, which they don't really apply anymore now. But dati yon. Kasi that's my responsibility and you talagang take it to heart. Kailangan eksakto yung food. So that's one. And then I distribute batteries, masking, supplies.
Aha.
And then I also assist, like, my first film that I did as a PA was Magic Temple with Direk Peke Galiaga.
naalala ko
and
yun,
Direk
Magic
Lori
Temple.
Reyes. Uy, naalala mo.
Pinanood ko yun. Yun yung sa may iba silang
Putok,
superpower,
Kalansay.
tapos may bato, 'di ba?
Yeah. So that one. So with Direk Peke, he gave everyone importance. He made all of us feel seen. So you're not just a PA, and being a PA is an important job. And then he gave me a specific duty, which was to play music while the scene was happening. It's more on like parang motivation, ganyan.
Like scene in the actual film or like background music?
Background music while
Okay.
while he's directing, while they're
Okay.
rehearsing and all, and while they're doing the scene. Kasi it's motivation, especially for the children, parang
Yeah,
ganon.
yeah.
And I think I picked it up from him.
Yeah.
And he gave me like a bunch of CDs. O ikaw nang bahala, you choose na what song you're gonna play. So, yun, parang at least I felt like it was important. And I felt like if I become a director, I want to be like him. I want my people to feel seen. And I want them to feel like what they're doing is important. Because that's how I felt with Direk Peke.
Yeah.
He really gave me I felt important. And then he would really talk to his people. Like he would say, hey, when you took over as a script continuity, the continuity was correct. Good job. And I'm like, wow.
Wow.
Peke Galiaga told me that. Good job.
So it's these soft skills, these leadership skills, parang napulot niya at a very early age because you had really good mentors
Yes.
who showed you what it's like to be a good leader.
Yeah.
Diba? Not just
Yeah.
from a technical perspective. I'm
Yeah.
sure motivating din yun diba? And pag motivated yung team, diba? Iba din yung feel, parang nawawala yung pagod.
Yeah, that's
Diba?
true. Because it's especially during that time when we didn't have EGL yet and we were working
EGL is
the Eddie Garcia law.
yeah.
So
Yeah, Eddie
now,
Garcia law.
the working hours are shorter.
Yes.
Unlike before na talagang all day, all night. And people...
One to sawa talaga.
One to sawa
Hanggang
yan.
makuha yung shot.
Hanggang matapos talaga yung
Correct.
schedule for the day.
Yeah.
So before it was that way. It's important that people are happy and people are working, that they love what they're doing
Exactly.
and that they're learning. Because it's not just, it can't be all fun. It can't be all fun. And that also depends on the project. Kasi syempre, parang it's not just the actors who are motivated or like internalizing the emotion. So if it's a drama, like if, we're doing a drama, hindi pwedeng happy-happy kayo tapos yung actors mo nag-internalize na iiyak, magbe-breakdown sila.
Yeah.
When you say happy, it has levels too.
Okay.
Parang behind the scenes, yes, after work, then we will have like we'll bond and all. But motivating the staff to also be, this is an important scene and everyone has to be quiet, so we play music also, etc. But then if it's a comedy or a rom-com, so talagang everyone is also having fun on set, nagtatawanan,
yeah.
ganyan. But then, it can't be that way kasi not all the time. Because, of course, merong mga artista na they feel like parang suddenly relax. So, being a director is also, parang kailangan marunong ka ng psychology.
Bringing out the best
Yeah, knowing how to bring out
or
the best.
what is needed
Yeah,
for
parang-
that moment.
Exactly. And parang knowing also what will work in this particular project, this particular scene. But generally, it's knowing your people, knowing what is the best way to bring out the best in everyone.
Okay. And I mean, I'm sure looking back, parang that production assistant role, and that experience you value so much.
Oh,
Because now, if that's the leader that you wanted to be, right? Someone who appreciates everything that each member of the team does, starting at that position gives you a different level of appreciation.
Yeah. Kasi now, like, also because knowing that I had to go through the difficult job of being a PA, hindi ko agad nakuha ng madali yung position. So I value the training, the times that I had to um, talagang blood, sweat, and tears moving up. And so now I also know if I can troubleshoot. Like, hey, you're not doing your job. If you don't do it this way, ganyan. Alam ko
Tsaka
trabaho
walang
mo.
lusot kasi
Oo.
alam mo talaga.
Alam ko trabaho mo, so
Correct.
dapat ito ginagawa mo.
Yep.
And I can make it work because, I can troubleshoot it
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I've been there. I've been there and I've done that.
Yeah, and siguro when you were starting out, diba? I mean, similar to I would say maybe superhero movies or even any job in particular. When you start off, there's this part of the story where you're still figuring out your superpowers, right? You're still learning the corporate culture, or you're learning things about the job that let you realize, para sa akin ba talaga to? Or baka para talaga sa iba? Or minsan, may sablay na parang ayoko na magpakita ulit. Di mo na ako makikita bukas. Meron ka bang mga ganun na moments?
Oh yeah, marami. Oh my goodness. Okay, so when I did my first script con job, syempre nasabihan ng Direct Peke na good job, di ba? So feeling ko, ay,
Kaya na.
I got this.
Yeah, yeah.
When I did Mara Clara the movie, first day pa lang, oh my goodness, nagre-resign na ako. Kasi talagang from the first sequence all the way sa midnight, pinapagalitan ako because of wrong continuity.
Wrong continuity for the appreciation of those listening. What do we mean when we say continuity?
Okay, so continuity. So when you shoot a scene in a movie, it's comprised of several shots. So you take a master shot, which is a full shot, and then you cut to tighter shots. So you cut in between. So you have to know, the director knows the cutting point. So when he says, okay, I want to cut at this particular point, and then what is the continuity of that when we took the master shot?
Okay.
So what is the movement? Where was the hair? What was
Got it.
she holding, etc. And
Got it.
continuity can also be, okay, where is this scene coming from? And so the first scene, so we shot several shots na, the director goes, May, where did this scene come from? I said, crickets. And then he said, the night before, binugbog siya ng asawa niya. Asa ng pasa niya? Ako, oh, okay.
Gets.
So he said, remember next time when we shoot that scene, kailangan lahat ng suntok sa tiyan. So it was curing na lang. Parang, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And then the next naman, nasan yung damit nung hawak niya nung sa like nung binato kay
Gets.
binato. So stuff like that.
So it's sort of like the quality assurance of the storytelling.
So that the flow is correct, because it's
Correct.
distracting when you suddenly the
Correct.
hand is like, you cut to a wide and then the hand
Yeah.
is here and then biglang the other hand is up.
Correct.
So those
Or
little things.
sa scene, walang bigote. Sa susunod, meron na.
Oh yeah, that
Parang
happened to
ganon.
me in
Talaga?
that day. Di ba meron siyang dito, may peklat siya. Where's the peklat? Asan
Okay,
yung may
okay.
bigote, but walang bigote?
Okay.
So that happened to me. So, parang yun yung difficulty the whole day. It was really pagalit after pagalit. And then that night, midnight snack, I approached the director and the associate producer and I said, hi, I'm so sorry for all my mistakes and I don't think I'm cut out for the job. Maybe I'll go back to being a PA na lang. And then the director, na inis pa rin sa akin by midnight snack, sabi niya, Direk Jerry Lopez Sineneng, he said, well, if anything, masipag ka. Parang, thank you po. And then the producer talked to me. She said, May, it's just the first day. Why are you already giving up? Why don't you finish the project at least? And then it's not good to be giving up right away. And then she said, who knows, you'll get better. And then after the project, you decide if it's not for you.
Yeah.
And then, so that my goal in that whole project is to get the approval of my director. And it was after that pagalit pa rin.
Yeah,
Oh, and then he
yeah.
didn't trust me anymore.
Okay.
So parang the trust is so
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
So anyway, after that, like several weeks after, so we did a very difficult scene, and then end of the shoot, he approached me. He said, "You're such a big help today, May. Thank you." Oh my God.
Biglang
Parang,
bumukas ang
parang,
langit tapos
gumanon.
may mga anghel na
Parang may
kumanta.
umilaw na gano'n, yes!
Okay,
So,
okay.
ang saya-saya ko talaga, and that was really the highlight. So,
Na parang, okay, I'm back in the game. Parang ganun.
parang, yeah, I got this. And I am continuing, and I'm reaching my goal to become a director. Kasi yung script continuity is on the creative side. So,
Okay.
that's a step to becoming a director. So,
Okay.
so it's usually the script con, then the AD, assistant director, and then to become a director na, finally.
Okay. And how many years were you doing yung script con?
job. I think I was a script con for like 3 projects.
3 projects.
And then after that, by fate, this direct Jerry Lopez Sineneng
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
suddenly nag-resign yung assistant director niya. And then he said, I think May is ready. I think we can promote her. And the irony of it all, right?
So your initial critic was now your fan and ambassador just
Yeah.
because you didn't give up.
Yes, as in he was the one who pushed for my promotion.
Wow.
And so I became an assistant director.
Sarap na feeling na yun, siguro, no?
Oo, as
Diba?
in, talagang, ayun na naman, bumukas na naman ang langit. Ganun. Pero yeah, it was really validating. I felt so validated.
Good.
And then, but it doesn't stop there. So after that, nung naging assistant director na ako, again, it would happen because it's a new level.
Yeah.
New challenges, parang
Yeah.
video game lang yan, di ba?
Yeah, that's right.
So parang achievement unlocked.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then moving on to the next. So,
Bigger bosses and
Yeah.
bigger
responsibilities.
'di ba? Kung video game, 'di ba? Yung boss sa level na to mas mahirap.
Yeah,
Diba?
yeah, it's harder. And then you really work with the actors directly, like, giving them the assisting in the blocking and the crowd blocking, etc.
Pag AD ba ano ginagawa? Parang yung acting mismo, 'di ba? Tama ba?
No, the AD is the director's, the acting is the director's
Okay.
role, responsibility. But I help in everything else.
Okay.
The assistant director, that's why I'm toughest on my AD because I used to be an AD. And the role is very important because siya yung glue. The
Glue guy.
AD communicates with all departments to make sure that everything flows smoothly.
Okay.
You are on schedule, you are on budget.
Yeah.
Of course, the producer is the one saying, okay, this is just our budget. We only have 20
Yeah,
talents.
yeah.
Make it work. And then I communicate with the director.
Yeah.
The director tells me how he wants the scene and his requirements.
Yeah.
And I communicate with production design,
Got
location,
it.
the production manager, everybody.
So parang yung director yung visionary. And then
Yes.
it's the AD's job to make sure that vision is translated
Executed.
into a well-oiled machine that
Yes.
gets the output.
And everyone is functioning. Like, I know what I have to know. I have to have foresight. I have to
Yeah.
know what the next scenes are, what the next shots are, so that everything is working smoothly. So your mind is like 10 steps ahead all the time. So it's a very important job, and the responsibility is huge.
Okay.
So as an AD, of course, from script con, you're just giving the continuity and also reading the actors. It's also a tough job, but
Yeah, yeah.
leveling up,
Yeah.
it's even tougher. So
So as a although of course you did well in all of them, that's why you're where you are now. Pero in terms of qualities or characteristics that make a good, let's say, production assistant, script con, AD, ano yung siguro qualities that make you successful in each? Kasi I'm sure iba din yan, di ba? May iba masiyang talaga sa ibang role, di ba? Or ibang skill or ibang characteristic will make you more successful in one versus another. Ano yung for those aspiring to enter the film industry or some form of it, ano yung tingin mong characteristic that makes you successful in each?
I think I will generalize it
Okay.
because this is important in all.
Yeah.
Attention to detail, reading between the lines, the subtext, because not everything is on the script. So you have to end foresight because you have to be 10 steps ahead. Like when you read it, okay, so it says here you have to understand it in a deeper level.
Yeah.
You don't just take it on the surface
Yeah.
level. And then important is humility. Because if you make mistakes, you have to be able to understand and accept that you made a mistake. You don't. There's accountability,
Yeah.
and there's also you never stop wanting to learn because you don't know everything when
Yeah,
you step
yeah.
into that job, and then you will always learn something new from everyone and in every project. So there has to be that desire to learn,
Okay.
and then that humility to accept when you make mistakes, and accountability when you make the mistake, and always pay attention to the details, listen.
Yeah.
So I guess all that encompassing na yon in all the positions, it's
Regardless of position,
Yeah.
these virtues or characteristics yung it's a recipe for success.
yeah
Diba?
yeah kasi like a lot, they give up pag napagalitan na, they resign
Or
na.
ayaw tanggapin na
Yeah, or always
nagkamali.
excuses. Parang
Correct.
throwing people under the bus na parang,
Yeah.
kasi si ganyan did. No, but then that's your
Correct.
responsibility.
It's the same thing I tell my team na sinasabi ko sa kanila na accountability for me is super important. And pag nagkamali ka, I'd rather you tell me na I made a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is what I'll do to improve rather than excuses. Kasi mas madali lumamig din yung ulo mo di ba? Pag inunahan ka na nagkamali ako,
Yeah.
sorry. And,
Yeah.
and it just shows na you're working with someone with the right attitude, right? Kasi yung skills can be taught, pero what you can't teach is, something to someone who doesn't want to learn.
Yeah.
No?
And I always believe that, we're all beginners. We all are beginners at one point.
Yes.
And we don't know everything. And
That's
I
right.
was once a beginner.
That's right.
Who didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Who got scolded all the time.
Yeah.
But because I strived, I was able to overcome it.
Yeah.
And I was able to learn.
Yeah.
So don't give up.
Yeah.
Because I don't give up on people.
Yeah. I remember seeing is it an infographic or some content about be the senior manager you wish your junior manager self had at that time. Diba? I think lahat tayo when it comes to career or work or maybe even life in general, diba? Lagi tayong meron someone wiser who's guiding us or teaching us how to do these things. And minsan pag to your point direct na we were all once beginners. Parang pag ganun kasi yung mental model mo, all of a sudden, yung parang maging nurturing ka bigla.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Tsaka-
Easier said than done though.
Yeah, it's true because of course, merong mga incidents talaga na parang Lord.
Ang kulit mo, kanina ko pa sinabi sa'yo yan.
Mabuti kung ganyan delivery. Ang kulit mo! But of course, people are evolving.
Correct.
And I would say na parang ako, my style has changed too in terms of training people.
Yeah.
I'm harder on my people now in terms of training. Parang talagang no. As in, dati kasi parang mas chill ka pa, barkada style kasi I was younger.
Yeah.
Pero now, parang feeling ko, mas yung parang mas strict na ako when it comes to teaching. Because I've seen this also. You train people, you give your heart and your soul, you
Yeah.
teach them, and then they leave.
Yeah.
But then, of course, it's on them.
Yeah.
Ang important is sana they take whatever you taught them. But then, it's important that you still don't give up. But then, of course, mas strict na. Mas meron ng parang siguro mas teacher mode ka na than, parang, hey, barkada tayo or like chill tayo dito.
Yeah.
Hindi na ganon.
Yeah.
It's still, it's still a fun set, I believe. But, andun yung parang the firmness and the passion in teaching
Yeah.
and being a disciplinarian
Yeah.
also.
One thing I picked up in corporate na for me one of the most effective maybe frameworks applicable to everyone was if I may share kasi sa management, you always put everything in 4 boxes. So you have an x-axis and a y-axis. Yung skill will matrix. Have you heard of that?
No.
So let me share a bit. So meron tao na high skill, right? High will. So let's say yung x-axis mo yung skill, y-axis mo is will. Diba? Yung upper quadrant mo, high skill, high will. Meaning magaling na, tapos game pa, motivated pa. Itong mga tao na to, you delegate things to them.
Yeah.
Because you know they can do it and they want to do it for their growth. No? Sa lower part of the skill will matrix, so ang mangyayari dyan is high skill pero low will, right? Maybe something's going on at home or personally, right? We don't know. Or maybe hit a roadblock or a hump at work. You motivate them, right? Meron ka naman yung sa lower left, which is low skill, low will, which is what you do is either train, trade, kasi baka nasa maling posisyon lang, diba? Train mo muna, baka naman kulang lang sa training. Kung wala pa din, baka trade kasi hindi sila fit for that. And then yung last, terminate. Kasi wala talaga eh. Low. Kasi syempre, pag di ka rin magaling or di ka talaga hiyang, nakaka-demotivate din, diba?
Yeah.
So baka low will ka doon. Diba? And then yung last is high will, low skill. So yan yung nasa upper left. Yung mga ganyan, you have to develop and guide them and coach them. Kasi game naman sila, di lang marunong. Diba? So diyan ka mag-i-invest na itong mga taong to, medyo hindi mo na ako pipitik masyado. Medyo mas mag-i-invest ako para mas matuto sila. Para eventually, malipat sila dun sa upper right of the quadrant. I think yung framework na yun yung isa sa mga na-pick up ko sa corporate leadership training na I share because it's so applicable. And the beauty about this is it's not person-based. It's task-based. Meaning, you could be, siguro using film as an example, you can be a really good script con, high skill, high will ka doon. Pero for an AD task, baka nasa low skill, high will ka. So, it has to be task-based, not person-based, para din hindi tayo judger and ma-box na tayo sa ibang tao. And just listening to your story about how you want to make sure na very personal yung approach and that everybody contributes. And how investing in each one is sort of like your leadership style. Baka lang baka 'di ba, parang sharing ko lang ba na yun yung isa sa mga na nagamit ko din when it comes to my work. But going back to
That's very interesting. I mean, that's something I can use.
baka baka pag may scene ka ng sa movie na may nagtuturo ng management, pwede mo gamitin yon para
At
maraming
ikaw na rin ang
makakita.
ikakast ko.
Pwede naman.
I've always wanted to cast you anyway.
Pwede naman, direct. Madali lang. Pati at least, praktisado na tayo dito sa podcast na to.
Para sabi ko, isulat mo na rin yung script.
Yeah. But after that AD role, sorry, you did the AD role for Mara Clara, is that right?
No. Ano nga ba yung ko first ko? My goodness.
What was your big break as an AD?
My big break as an AD, I think was Kung Ayaw Mo Wag Mo, the one of Jolina Marvin, William Martinez, and Maricel Soriano. So that was parang rom-com siya, rom-com na movie.
Okay.
Tapos yun nga yung nag-resign yung AD ni Direk Jerry. So
Okay.
bigla akong na-promote, parang sabi, may ka na lang dito, jump in and become na my
Yeah.
AD.
Yeah.
But then Direk Rory Quintos, who needed an AD after that project, and then sa kanya na ako napunta. Nagtuloy-tuloy. Kaya nga Direk
Okay.
Jerry would say na ako ang naghain.
Napirata ka.
Sabi niya, akong naghain, iba ang kumain. So parang it's really fate. And then it's so funny nga kasi when we were talking ni Direk Rory, I found out that yung grandparents niya, ninong and ninang sa kasal ng parents ko.
Wow.
Can you
Small
believe
world.
that? As
Yeah.
in, and my mom used to ride with her lolo and her tita to work every day because they've all lived in San Juan. So parang grabe yung small world doon.
Yeah.
Tapos nung kinasal kami ng husband
Parang pag
ko,
ganun, meant to be talaga yung feeling eh,
yeah,
no?
so
Parang
parang,
serendipity talaga.
yeah, and then she became our ninang sa wedding naman namin. So
Wow.
parang, those things, they're not, nothing in life is a coincidence.
Yeah.
Parang yun yung mga dinala talaga kayo. Then she became my
Parang
mentor.
kinalabutan ako dun Kasi marami din akong personal moments na parang at that particular moment, it didn't make sense. And then looking back, parang
Yeah.
binabantayan talaga ako ni God na to guide me
Yeah.
towards this.
Yeah,
this-
he's always ahead of you.
And baka nga even this conversation direct. So
Yeah.
baka yung
Mamaya
extra role ko na teacher matuloy.
Tingnan natin, marami. Baka marami kang epiphanies dito sa conversation
Baka,
na
who
to.
knows? And that's the beauty of podcasting, I guess, and just listening to people. There's so much to learn, right?
Yeah.
From each and everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And with podcasting, hindi mo kailangan ikat or yung mga magaganda lang, di ba? Meron ka nung buo na raw na kasi it's relevant. Each, I would say, part of the conversation is relevant to someone out there at one point in their lives.
Yes,
Right?
yes. I mean, parang ano naman yan eh. Parang I think yung putting yourself out there, whether it's a film, a series, a podcast, may makakakita niyan and it's going to affect them one way or another. I mean, like even with my work, nagulat ako kasi like, some people diss mainstream or like local TV shows. Sasabihin ng baduy naman yan, ng mga Pilipino talagang baduy gumawa or parang walang originality or parang kaya hindi umuunlad ng
Ang industriya, parang
industriya,
ganyan.
parang kasi ang papangit ng gawa.
Okay.
But then, one time, somebody messaged me out of the blue. I don't know this person, total stranger, and said, "Hi, Direk. I just want to let you know that I love your show. I loved, which was before pa, Anghel na Walang Langit, because my father was going through dialysis that time, and he was in a lot of pain. But while he was watching that, it entertained him a lot. And I feel like it extended his life. And I just wanted to thank you for that."
Grabe.
Those little things na parang it's one person.
Yeah.
It's one person. And then like another show I did, Too Good to Be True, which was during the pandemic. We had a character called Lolo Sir, played by Ronaldo Valdez. And a friend of mine, yung mom niya may cancer. And she could relate to Lolo Sir na parang the tough boss, ganyan. And in fact, yung staff niya, ang tawag sa kanya si Lola Ma'am. And then when she was, she was watching the show, biglang the doctor said na it's getting worse, ganyan. She stopped eating. Then parang naging depressed siya. So I talked to Tito Ron. Sabi ko, Tito Ron, can you send her a message as Lolo Sir?
Okay.
And then so he sent her a message. Sabi niya, ano ba yan, Lola Ma'am? Anong nangyayari sa'yo? Kain ka naman, ganyan-ganyan. And then talk to her. And then when my friend showed the video to her,
Kumain.
natuwa, tawa ng tawa. And then biglang she asked for food.
Wow.
And then every day she was waiting for the episodes, ganyan. Sadly though, she passed away, but she passed away when the show ended. So you have a feeling that parang maybe it was
Maybe it helped.
it helped, and in those last moments, she was smiling
Correct.
and she was enjoying. And that's priceless. What you can do for others na parang just because of a show, or maybe like this podcast, someone's gonna watch it and be inspired.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the beauty of what we're doing.
Pati whether you're able to attribute it directly or, I'm sure we won't be able to fully measure really the impact, right?
Yes.
And it's not like you're doing it for the quantity,
Yeah.
right? It's more the quality and, di ba, kahit isang tao pa lang, malaki na yun, di ba?
Yeah, and-
That's one more than what would have been if you didn't do it.
Yes. Plus, it can be a seed Like
That's right.
remember, I told you that earlier
right.
that the seed was planted early on.
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint a singular moment when, I said I want to be a director. It's a compounded experience.
Yeah.
The seeds were planted by the several movies that I've watched. And this could be one of those seeds that
Yeah.
will be planted in somebody.
That's right. To all the listeners out there, diba? Baka this is your sign. This is the sign that you've been waiting for. Diba? Na to just do it and just jump in and put the reps in and just get better at what you want to do, or at least
Yeah.
learn from the experience and figure out if it's actually something that you really wanted to do or not.
Yeah.
Right?
And you have to honor your gift.
Yeah.
We all have gifts that's uniquely ours. And you have to honor that gift. You have to use that gift.
Yeah.
And in using that gift, it's honoring yourself too.
Yeah.
So parang, ano yan it's there. You're wondering, I've always wanted to do this. I mean, of course, there are instances like kagaya nung singing ko nung bata ako, di ba? Akala ko talaga magaling ako and
Correct.
talagang pinanindigan ko. But it was a lesson on, okay, ano ba talagang, minsan din na yung overconfidence.
Gets.
Pero hindi naman sa ganon. I'm just saying lang that we have to know also parang what are our interests, our talents. We were made uniquely.
Yeah.
And of course, ito rin yun. Because of social media, there's a tendency to compare. Ay, hindi ako kasing galing ni ganyan.
Gets.
Someone is better than me. I won't do it anymore. Someone's doing it
Yeah.
na. No, just do it. Because your story, your experiences in life, they're all uniquely yours.
Yeah.
And that's what you put out there
Yeah.
and that's what you put on the table
Yeah.
because of you. You are uniquely you.
Yeah. And even that experience, your singing experience when you were a child, diba? That was part of the journey that led you to where you are today,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you would have never figured out yourself. Although ako, hingi pa ako ng sample direct. Pero para ma-confirm ko from at least my point of view, no? Pero diba, you would have never confirmed or affirmed that you're meant to direct rather than sing if you actually didn't try it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And to quote you, suck at it. Right? Sa inyo nanggaling yung direct, hindi sa akin. No, fully agree. And I remember, attending one of these leadership conferences and the opening speaker at that time said, you owe it to the world to find out how good you can really be. Kasi ikaw lang yung binigyan ng ganyan na potential, characteristics, gifts, and to find out how much there is left on the tank, diba? It is part of your journey as a person and part of the adventure of your life. Diba? Pero sayang naman if hindi mo mailalabas.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
So yun lang, connecting it lang to stories and how there are no coincidences. Who knows, right? This conversation in itself
Yeah.
is hopefully something interesting and something impactful for someone out there.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely impacting me. So
I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Di ba the story of the talents, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang you don't just keep it for yourself eh.
Exactly.
Kailangan mo yun, ilabas mo, i-cultivate mo.
Correct.
And then, never stop. Age is never, like I'm turning 53
Yeah.
and I'm not stopping anytime soon because for as long as there's a story to tell, there's still something that I can do, I won't stop. Habang may buhay, may saysay.
Yeah. Yeah. And we only have one life, right? Might as well, take your chances, live it to the fullest, and just do it. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Talagang just dive.
Yeah. Maybe let's talk a bit about your craft. So you climbed up the ladder. Then you became a director. What was your biggest break as a director?
Well, okay. So by the time that I was given my break as a director, I was enjoying becoming an AD, as an
Okay.
assistant director. Kaya ganyan ko na lang yung pagiging AD eh. Tipong like I was asked to come to the set because, the AD was, they didn't have an AD. The AD lang parang, ano yun, nag-volunteer lang siya. Producer talaga siya. And then, biglang, nagkakagulo na sa set. So they called me, May, come here, ganyan. Tipong nabasa ko lang yung script. Kaya ko yan. So enjoy na ako. So when they said that, okay, magde-direct ka na, May, parang ako, okay, parang next step. But,
Na-excite ka ba or natakot ka or parang nag-enjoy na ako dito eh.
parang ganon, pero hindi naman sa natakot. Parang, okay, moving on, parang ganon. And then again, like what happened to me when I jumped from one position to another, parang, hindi pa pala ako ganon ka marunong mag-direct. And then some people said na parang hilaw pa yata, parang ganon. And again, ayun na naman. I think that's the story of my life. Parang lagi akong, pag nagba-back to one, pag nagna-next level na ako, nagba-back to one ako. And then I have to really, I realize ang daming hindi ko pa alam. And then I asked, and then I reached a point, you mentioned it earlier, did I ever reach a point na sinabi ko na wag na lang, iba na lang, or hindi ko na lang to gagawin.
Yeah.
I also reached that point when I was already a director.
Yeah.
Kasi parang hindi ako nabibigyan ng break eh. They're saying na okay naman, but not good enough. Parang parang it's just not, parang not quite.
Nothing brilliant. Parang
Yeah,
ganon.
parang ganon. So I'm always second unit director. I was given a directing job for a film, pero yung trilogy hindi na nasundan. While my contemporary, which was Kathy Garcia, moved on and then made hits. Ganyan. So ako naiwan ako sa parang ako, ano na mangyayari sa akin? And then doon ako nag-stop and say na parang maybe this isn't my path. Baka pinipilit ko lang because I wanted so badly. And then parang I said, I didn't know. I mean, what should I do? Just so I will learn or just so I will move up.
Yeah.
And so I approached Direk Olive. She was going to do a movie because she took a long break from
Yeah.
directing. And she was going to do a movie which was In My Life. The one of Vilma Santos, John Lloyd Cruz, and Luis Manzano, which was shot in New York. And then I said, she didn't have an AD. And then I said, if it's what it takes for me to learn, take a step back and be an AD again to her. Maybe I will learn.
So it's not even a sidestep, di ba? Kuwari, hindi man lang siya lateral move tapos umiba ng linya. Talaga nag-step
No,
back talaga.
I step back. So
Yeah.
take 10 steps backwards. Learn again.
Okay.
So that's what I did. And others frowned upon it. Like others are saying, huh?
Nandun ka na eh.
Bakit? Parang bakit ganun? Parang ang naman ng pride mo, ganyan, kakahiya or what? But I said, that's how desperately I want it.
To learn.
And then if after this project, talagang hindi, then it would have made for a good swan song.
Yeah.
Because shot in New York,
Yeah.
Olivia Lamasan, Vilma Santos, John Lloyd, first project of Luis and, Vilma Santos.
Yeah.
So parang for me, if it's going to be my last film project,
So be it.
yeah, so be it. But at least, di ba? So, and then I said, hindi ko na alam after that, but maybe it's not for me.
Yeah.
But after that, they gave me my first film, my first full length, and tuloy-tuloy na yon. But it still wasn't, parang the first wasn't good din.
Yeah.
Parang for me, parang okay, gets ko na yung hirap nga ako talaga na parang I still need to learn a lot. And every project is a learning experience.
Yeah.
Parang ganon.
Yeah. And you mentioned maybe before we talk about your craft or your style, I want to touch a bit on what you shared na may mga magsasabi na hilaw pa, may magsasabi, 'di ba, may mga doubters, minsan haters, 'di ba? That's when you made it, eh, 'di ba? Or minsan mga people then who actually are on your side but they're just really critical as people, 'di ba?
Yeah.
How do you manage these feedback mechanisms or the noise sometimes? Do you pay
Oh,
attention or do you let it get to you or parang minsan bahala kayo?
Nung dati, kasi syempre, when I started directing, wala pang social media.
Yeah.
So, at the most siguro sa media, sa press conference mo lang maririnig maybe a side comment or maybe some articles in the newspaper, mga ganun lang. Or maybe like hearsay. Pero now it's a totally different animal. I
Real
mean,
time.
as in real time, and also parang talagang they tag you. They
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
you straight.
Yeah.
Ang pangit ng gawa mo.
Okay.
Wala kang delikadesa.
Okay.
Ang tsaka niya as a director, she's vanilla. I've
Okay.
heard all
Okay.
those comments. It has gotten so bad that merong isa na sinabi pa sa akin na ginagamit mo lang si Kim Chu para sumikat. Kaya hindi ka magkaanak, nakakarma ka.
Wow.
Ganong
May
level.
ganong level, no?
May ganong level. So,
Bakit, troll account or like
no.
personal
Personal
talaga?
account. I understand yung mga what's this, celebrities that go through depression, na parang nagkaka-mental health issues.
Existential crisis.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then, naiintindihan ko kasi I'm sure it's worse for them. And I understand completely kasi parang, you don't even know me. And here you are judging me, saying all these things about me,
Yeah.
and nonstop. And then, hindi ako pwede sumagot. So, minsan parang meron times gusto ko pumatol talaga eh. Alam mo yung parang patolera era.
Yeah,
Pero, like sometimes I would, like noted. O kaya parang, minsan parang
Like,
sasagot ka.
Heart.
Or
Yeah.
parang yeah. But then, I realized na you're giving them the power over you when
Yeah.
you let them affect you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, and I realized na pinakamalalayan with love teams.
Okay.
Because they're passionate about it.
Is that a
As in talaga,
Filipino thing or
I think so.
You
I
think?
Well, fans in general are passionate. I mean, look at even in K-pop or K-drama,
Yeah,
diba? That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
they get canceled because they're so passionate about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Parang, and I think it's not just it's really yung fanaticism. Ganun talaga yung niya. Ganun talaga yung mga tao. When they're fans of something,
At least you got them emotionally involved. Too
Yeah.
involved even.
And then sometimes naman, like, okay, I try to bite my tongue and then compose myself before responding. So some I would respond to, like, I would explain myself and then biglang kumakambyo. Biglang, oh, thank you for replying direct. Ganyan, I didn't realize. Ganun. So,
ay, nabasa pala.
so pag nabasa, biglang kumakambyo. So, iba-iba eh. But then I realized na parang you give them that power. Kasi parang it's negative. It's noise.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't need that noise. I have to know whose voices are important. And that's one thing I had to train myself. Kasi it's easy. It's so easy. And that's why I tell my actors the same thing. Kasi, kahit si Ann Curtis, hindi nakaligtas eh. Hindi nakaligtas when we did It's Okay to Not Be Okay. Oh my gosh, the bashing.
Yeah.
Parang they haven't even seen the show.
Yeah.
Grabe na yung bashing.
Okay.
And then it evolved, the bashing from the show, and then the character, and then mamaya, bakit brown ang teeth niya? Parang biglang pumunta na dun, why? Why are we talking about this? And do we really need to, those little things?
Yeah.
And then they feel like it's nothing, but then they don't realize that, hello,
Tao din yan.
ilan kayo
Yeah.
versus one person, and that one person cannot even respond.
Yeah.
So,
I think si Mike Tyson said something to the effect na what changed from before and versus now was before you gotta man up to what you say. Because if you say something bad, you gotta get ready to get punched in the mouth. Right? Something to that effect. Now, ang dami na behind the scenes.
yeah.
Diba? And ang tatapang, kasi hindi na nakikita.
Pero pusa naman yung profile picture. Ay, sorry, pusa mo.
May pusa.
Oh, sorry.
Cute naman ng mga pusa.
Ito, pangit yung pusa.
Pangit na pusa.
Pero, I'm just saying, that you don't know who they are.
Exactly.
You don't know who they are. And then, kapag kunwari kinall out mo or report mo, they'll just create another account.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
if you give them the time of day, if you pay attention to them, you're just giving them power. Also, they enjoy it. Ay,
Yeah.
napansin ako.
Yeah,
Ganyan. So, yung ganon, you just ignore it na lang.
And maybe you mentioned something about you filter or you choose what voices to listen to. Ano yung parameters mo to determine what is considered as a good voice to listen to?
Okay, first of all, I work for a company. So my bosses are,
course.
the important voices. Are they happy
Yeah.
with what I did? Because, of course, they're the ones spending for this. Next would be, hindi ko naman sinasabing hindi important ang voices ng fans. But you also need to know or decipher sino yung haters lang, sino yung they didn't even watch it and they just commented on it. You'll know naman kung sino yung and one thing then it's important to have a tough heart na
Yeah, yeah.
kahit na mabasa mo, hinga na lang, move on. And then, sino pa? My mentors. When my mentors message me na, hey, I watched this, ganyan. So parang ako, yan na naman yung music.
Okay.
And then my actors, because they're the ones who are performing.
They're your collaborators for
Yeah.
that project.
Oo.
Okay.
In fact, okay, even critics, it's not that I don't pay attention to them or they're not important, but I realized this when I became part of a jury of a film competition. People have different takes. People are people are coming from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And we were several filmmakers there, and then even those from the organizers, when they were giving their comments, suddenly I understood, like, okay, this is a different perspective, being a spectator,
Yeah.
being one
Yeah.
of those also,
Yeah.
saying what you like, what you don't like. But then in the end, it doesn't mean that this film is not worth watching. That's me.
Yeah.
That's my take on
Yeah.
it. And then you can have a different take on it, but it doesn't necessarily mean
Yeah.
that your take is true or that your
Yeah.
take is correct. Kanya-kanya
Yeah.
yan. It's subjective,
Subjective, yeah.
very
I thi-
subjective.
I think that's the difference between, let's say, math and
Yes.
art, right?
Yes.
And I remember my marketing class before. I think it was about media ethics or something like that. And the statement mentioned in that class was, we don't take messages as they are.
Yeah.
We take them as we are,
Yeah.
right? Because it's our personal disposition that frames that message into how it is towards us, or how it is, or how we see it projected to the world. No, so I think it's sort of similar to what you shared, na may kanya-kanyang say din talaga, may kanya-kanyang trip
Yeah.
lang din talaga, di ba?
Yeah.
Oo.
I mean, like what I said kanina, if yung fans, I respect their opinion and we value how
Yeah.
they feel or pero kasi if you're bordering or if you cross the line, then fan or not, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Hindi yun tama. And that's what we don't tolerate and we don't condone.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't mean that if iba yung opinion mo sa akin, aawayin kita.
Gets.
'Di ba? Parang okay, so that's your take on
I
it.
mean, wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Ganun lang kasimple.
And like what you said nga, my husband agrees with that. He said that what's different with his profession also is that it's absolute. Sa,
What does he do?
honey, what do you do? No, he's with ito hirap i-explain pero in general naging software engineer na yan, data.
Okay.
So,
So binary thinking.
Oo.
Yeah.
Hindi siya kagaya nito. Sabi niya yung work mo kasi parang emotions, based on emotions, and then
Yeah.
it's not like, parang like you can say that it's a good or bad film or because iba-iba ang take ng tao eh. It's very subjective.
Correct.
I mean, there are of course parameters like kunwari meron yung mga
I'm sure may
ratings.
data analytics
Oo.
out there, right?
And then, but then ako, my basis is it's important that a lot of people get to watch it. And when a lot of people watch it, meaning box office, it means I got my message across. Because end of the day, that's what's important.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? You're doing this because you're telling a story. You're imparting a message. You're trying to impart a value. And when a lot of people see it, then you know that you got your message across. So, okay, maganda syempre ang awards, maganda syempre ang ratings, maganda yung, yung like letterboxd, mga ganon. But sa akin, important talaga yung, okay, a lot of people appreciate it or at least napanood nila yan. Ibig sabihin, umabot sa marami. The reach is important.
Yeah. And if they capture it 80% or at least
Yeah.
70% of it, right? And it made an impression and at least gave them perspective, diba?
Yeah.
That's when it
Yeah.
goes.
But it happens that, yun nga, hindi rin marami ang nanood. Pero dun sa konti na nanood na yun,
True.
they said na parang that changed my life. And
True.
it's important. So,
It depends how you measure success.
Yes,
I
oo.
guess, right?
Oo.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe about your storytelling, your style. Meron bang distinct na direct May na style of storytelling?
I honestly don't know. I'm not conscious of it. If there is a style, please tell me because I don't know. All I know is that I do a lot of slow-mos. That's just a technical style. But I think if there is something that's a signature of mine would be I always put a value or I value telling stories about families, about keeping the family together
Yeah.
and marriage.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I am that is parang ano yan, I'm rooting for people to commit
Yeah.
to marriage,
Yeah.
and that's something that I believe in. And yung values na yun, siguro I think that would be a signature style in terms of if style is concerned. Ako ano lang parang hindi ko alam yung technical kung meron, honestly. But I do know that those are the stories that I tell and I want to keep telling.
So more of the theme or the undertones of
Yeah.
family, marriage,
Yeah.
and faith and stuff like that.
And faith,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
definitely.
I think it's quite evident to rewind. I think there were certain shots there which I think were thoughtfully crafted to juxtapose, let's say, the rosary and what was about to happen, and even maybe the name. Maybe I don't know. Sadya ba yun?
Well, yeah, the thing is that was written by our writer, si Enrico Santos.
Yeah.
Of course, when I read the script, it was given to me, I think it was late 2019 or 2020. And when I read it, it's like, oh my gosh, this is a story I want to direct. This is a story I want to tell. Kasi talaga it was so close to my heart. Everything I want to say in a film nandun. Faith,
Galing.
relationships, family, marriage,
Purpose of life.
the purpose of life, and all, parang how do we love?
Yeah.
Parang how far will we go in loving somebody? So it's unconditional love. What is how will you show your love for others?
Ako, more than love, parang more of purpose of life yung theme that was that stuck with me in that movie. Na, syempre, I can relate, diba? The corporate guy spending a lot of time here. Pag panahon na ba? Diba? Ano ba talaga nagmamatter?
Yeah,
Diba? And if you had to do it all over again,
yeah,
what would you have done? And the beauty is, when you start, if you watch a movie like Rewind, or if you listen to this, or I'm sure this is not the first time you've heard something of this tone, diba? Nothing's stopping us from doing that change the following day, or maybe even at that moment, diba? And sometimes it just needs that aha moment in that movie, in that podcast, in that reel that you saw, to change that behavior, and then that behavior to a lifestyle, and that lifestyle to the relationship and overall trajectory of a marriage or someone's life. Diba?
yeah. And that's why I really wanted to do it, and I think it was told at the time that people needed it the most, because we were coming from the pandemic,
Yeah.
when things were going back to normal, but we never really processed the pain that we experienced during the pandemic.
That's true.
Everyone experienced a sense of loss, whether it's you lost a loved one, loss of jobs, or finances, and then I'm sure there were questions, existential questions, but we were never processed, and we had the collective trauma, collective pain, that we just had to move on because things were going back to normal.
Yeah.
And then that movie, I said, was offered to me in 2019, early 2020, before the
Pre-pandemic
pandemic.
pa.
And then we
Okay.
didn't do it because of the pandemic, and then Dongyan didn't want to do it because of course they wanted to keep safe for their children. And all in God's perfect time.
Yeah.
It was told at the time that people needed it.
That's right.
And then that's why it resonated with so many people, because they needed that good cry first, a release, and to realize that, remind yourself, what is the purpose of life? What is my purpose? Because we went through so much pain. We all lost something, someone, time, even time. But what is the meaning of all of this? I mean, our lives. And it was very, and then parang yung mga tao gustong mag-essay writing contest
Oh,
after. Parang,
correct.
parang lahat ng tao gusto magsulat after, may mga
Correct.
posts after watching it na sabi nila na they could relate in this way, and it affected people in different ways. And that's the beauty of the film, and that's why parang such a blessing to be able to tell a story like that.
And to direct a movie at that time
Yeah.
with and a movie of that caliber.
Yeah, parang ano siya, it's one of those na would rarely come, and I'm just so happy that it was given to me. I thought, natakot ako. So, oh my gosh, baka hindi ko na ito magawa. Kasi nung sinabi that the couple won't be doing it, oh no, baka mamaya I won't get to do it. So when they told me, oh, you're gonna do it, I'm so happy talaga.
Was it really meant for them or
Yeah, it was meant for them
okay,
talaga. It was
okay.
really meant for them.
Okay. And yeah, like to say I was actually surprised na they did that movie. Kasi nga parang pandemic din, 'di ba? Medyo tahimik for a while sila eh, 'di ba? Focusing on raising their kids, I guess. And then all of a sudden they did that. So medyo risk din 'yon, I think, from a commercial perspective, na out of nowhere bring them out together.
Well,
Or may analytics na ba yan na hindi magiging mabenta yan kasi
hindi din namin alam. Kasi,
Oo.
yung film industry kasi ngayon, di ba, parang medyo you don't know what to expect eh.
That's right.
Is it going to be a hit or a miss? And maraming misses. And yung sa kanila, tinayaan because it's a reunion film. It's their first film together as a couple.
Is it?
Yeah. Parang their last film together, hindi pa sila married. So there is something unique there, and people are excited and happy to see them together. And it was a perfect story for them as a couple, because couple na sila. So couple yung story, I mean yung characters dun sa story. So merong tinatayaan, and parang high hopes, but at the time, the MMFF the year before that, medyo hindi pa maganda masyado yung results eh. So that year, parang hindi rin kami sure. But surprisingly, and we were so happy na parang, oh wow, people were watching it, and every day parang maganda yung results. So, ano siya talaga, hindi rin expected.
What do you think made that MMFF more successful than the previous year and maybe even 2 years prior? Because I hear that was one of the MMFFs na pinaka-successful.
Kasi people were excited to go back to normal. People were, okay, so nag-change ang viewing habits ng people. They like to watch at home, streaming, parang naging ganun na, 'di ba? But then, parang, wait, let's go out again. Nandun yung excitement ng tao to go out again. It was that, I remember yung Christmas Day, we went out to the cinemas. We did a cinema tour. And ang daming tao sa sinehan. Nakakatuwa because the year before, hindi pa, takot pa yung tao lumabas.
Yeah, kasi yung pandemic sa atin, parang hanggang 2023, di ba?
Yeah.
2024, maybe.
Well, 2023,
23 siguro.
23, yun yung that was when Rewind was shown. So, 2022, 2020, the year
2023, medyo nakamaskara pa yun minsan.
Hindi na masyado
Hindi na
nun.
ba?
Hindi na. Because I remember,
Hindi ko na maalala.
nung 2020, when I did Too Good to Be True, it was 2020, it was 21-22. And I remember na when we tail end of our project, naiinggit na kami kasi people were starting to go out. nag-ano na medyo people were eating
Yeah,
out na
yeah, yeah.
ganyan. Kaya alam ko na ano na naglu-loosen na yung ano yung parang people are ano slowly inching their way back
Yeah,
to
yeah,
normalcy.
yeah.
So the 2022 Film Fest hindi pa full on. 2023, yun yung hindi na nakamask.
Tsaka parang act of rebelliousness
Oo.
or parang people needed to feel normal again.
Yeah.
And one of those things that made them feel normal was watching a movie. You know, with my
Yes.
family, with a room packed
Christmas.
of
Oo.
people, right?
Yeah.
Kasi wala na COVID.
Oo, parang nung time na yun, pag merong nagkaroon ng COVID, sasabihin, okay lang yan, mag-mask ka lang.
Correct,
Ganun, hindi
correct.
natakot yung mga tao. So, that year was really a good year for MMFF. There were 10 films then hindi 8. And a lot of people really stepped out to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Kaya nga nakakatuwa, kala namin parang the following year, ganun ulit. Pero hindi eh. Parang,
I think ang dami din kasi yung share of wallet ng movie parang na-divide na din eh. Yung iba nag-travel na lang, yung iba
yes.
ewan ko baka sa iba gumastos, diba? Pero I think traveling siguro yung
Yeah.
one of the biggest alternates for entertainment I think this year.
Di ba unprecedented nga
Yeah.
daw yung visa applications sa Japan.
Yeah, I hear sobrang ano na daw, sobrang packed.
April na yung next.
Correct. And also because of I think flights abroad are now sometimes even cheaper than local flights.
Yeah, and then ang daming travel fare,
Correct.
ang daming mga promos. So
Yes.
and then sa credit cards, 'di ba? So
Yeah,
parang
yeah.
that's why people are excited to
Yeah.
do that, to travel more than watch movies now.
And then especially now na yun nga it's something that will eventually be uploaded
Yes.
and
And streaming
something streamed.
platforms, yeah.
And your time off work is only finite. You might as well travel and then balikan mo yung movie
Yeah.
when it's in the
Ganun ngayon
platform.
yung nangyayari. That's why
Diba?
it's very challenging then for us. Like, okay, how do we address that? So that's something that is being considered.
Have you ever thought of co-creating a movie with the fans?
Wow, okay. I never thought about that.
Because I was having a chat with my sister, and she said one of her theories to make the movie experience a bit more experiential again was it has to be unrepeatable. So I was thinking, well, after our conversation, that, diba, and how do you make it unrepeatable, or how do you make it an in the moment entertainment activity? Parang meron bang mga movies na parang parang video game, pipili ka kung saan ka
Choose your
pupunta.
own adventure.
Oo, and then may angulo na ganito yung ending. If at this moment magkakatuluyan ka or not, ganito yung pupuntahan.
Well,
may nakikita bang ganon na, or may nag-try na ba nun? I
sa
don't know.
movies, hindi ko pa narinig yon. Pero sa TV, we've done that. In fact, I shot there was a show before called Love Spell. And siya, parang fantasy na love stories.
Yeah.
Tapos, yung ginawa nila for the episode that I did, parang people will vote kung ano yung magiging ending.
Yeah,
Parang,
yeah.
will it be this? Will she end up with that? Ganon. And then, we shot 2 endings. So, kung ano yung nanalo na vote, yun yung kaya naging experiential.
Okay.
And then, of course, that time wala pang streaming eh. So, hindi siya mauulit.
Correct.
So, dun lang yon. I don't know if it's possible now. Kasi now, they're streaming.
Yeah.
So, parang you either watch... I think, di ba, Black Mirror did that? Didn't Black Mirror...
I heard something.
Oo,
Yeah,
parang
yeah.
Black Mirror did that. But I'm not really sure if that's effective. Kasi parang... how are you going to keep it from others? And then parang... That's kind of challenging. But it's an interesting idea.
Yeah. Well, I was just playing around with the idea of making a bit more personal and unrepeatable that whole experience. Of course, AR, or augmented reality, virtual reality, diba? That's another reason to go back to the cinema. Although meron na din yan technically mga at-home devices na version, di ba? Yeah,
I'm sure technology is also evolving.
for sure.
So, yun dun, and it's evolving fast.
Yeah,
So, we have to be on our toes
yeah,
to
yeah.
keep up with the
Yeah.
times
Yeah.
and to be in the now. But also, it's hard because hindi mo alam what to expect eh.
Yeah,
And then it's also unpredictable then yung behavior of
Yeah.
the viewers.
Yeah.
So it's something that is being, I think it's a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
It's not just, parang people are after instant gratification.
Yeah.
Then they also want it to be convenient for them.
And social, I think.
Yeah.
So-
And cheap.
Yeah. Well, I think storytelling in general is there to stay. It's just how and the medium, diba? And who knows? Maybe it's one of these pendulum trends na, diba? Umiikot lang din, diba? In the same way how everyone was pushing for hybrid, everyone was pushing, let's say, hybrid learning or e-learning, and then now gusto ibalik ulit sa face-to-face, mano-mano lahat kasi marami na nang dadaya, di ba? In the same way how before e-learning ka na lang, and then now yung clamor is, pwede ba mas workshop na face-to-face? Who knows? Baka babalik lang din doon. Panahon lang. In the same way how fashion now, parang uso, parang ano ba, 90s ba ngayon? O 80s ulit? Diba? So with the Gen Z years.
Yeah.
Diba? So,
I think ano talaga, you know, factor din yung ticket prices. Because with, di ba sinabi nga nila na yung Noche Buena is 500 pesos.
Oo nga.
And then ang ticket mo, 500 pesos din.
Correct.
So parang ano yung pang Noche Buena na ng buong pamilya
Correct.
yung price ng isang movie ticket.
Tapos ikwento na lang niya. Nung
Oo.
napanood niya.
Or panahintayin mo na lang sa sa streaming later on. So the ticket prices are really it's pretty high.
What's driving it up?
The taxes.
Taxes.
Entertainment tax.
Okay.
And then, kasi I remember there was one time that SM had, when it was their anniversary, ginawa nilang 60 pesos yung I think it was it 60th anniversary or 80th? Anyway, basta it was the anniversary of SM. And the ticket price nila ganun kababa.
Okay.
Box office lahat ng sold out lahat ng palabas nung araw na yon. And so, it goes to show that if mura yung ticket, manonood sila.
Yeah.
Why not, di
Yeah,
ba?
yeah.
Parang nga yun, aircon, di ba? Maganda yung
Correct,
sinehan and all. And you can watch with your barkada.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
activity. But if mahal siya, parang hindi
Yeah.
na kaya talaga.
Interesting. Putting my strategy/business hat on, what would be good to compute is, of course, I think it's always been known that the cinema is your loss leader in the mall. Diba? It's what drives the footfall. And I think that was SM strategy when they did that. Yeah, $80, but the amount of footfall that you bring in because of that, sold out every movie, every day for that period. There's a halo effect sa restaurants, sa
Yes.
shopping,
Yes.
right?
Oo.
Sa entertainment, F&B, etc. Diba? If someone is able to compute yung naging upside from that, diba? That would, help, cinema owners really do dynamic or tactical pricing or promotion strategies when it comes to movies, diba? I was thinking, because you mentioned taxes about the prices, so it's more tax for the cinema rather than the producers or the studio. or is it
Definitely
both?
not the studio. It's really the cinema. So I'm guessing kasi hindi rin ako I don't know the details of it. But definitely there's the entertainment tax, and of course yung pricing nung cinema. Syempre if it's a high-end mall,
Ayaw mo din naman na murang-mura ka.
oo, it's a high-end mall, and then of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
is it the directors club? Ito ba yung mga cinemas na Lazy
Lazy
Boy?
Boy, yeah,
And then
yeah.
or it comes with popcorn and so may mga ganyan din. That's why iba-iba ang price point, and that's why tumataas yung iba because of the different values that they give in, and then they just want it to be like a total package when you watch a movie.
Yeah.
Hindi na lang dati yung upo ka lang, 'di ba? And then you
Correct.
bring your own. Ito yung meron ng mga everything's there, or 'di ba meron nang may beds.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, and actually, now that I think about it, before, ang sisikip ng movie house, tas ang liliit na upuan, because you wanted to put as many people there. Kasi your price was only, let's say, 80 to $100. Now, they've changed it to lazy boys, beds even, kasi less people. But to catch up with the loss in volume, they have to put up the prices.
Yeah.
So medyo may ganong
so may
scale
premium eh.
and premium. And since you're there to offer the whole experience, buuin mo na, di ba? Yeah, okay.
Todo mo na.
What is entertainment tax? I'm curious.
Basta yun yung taxes na nilalagay nila dun sa sa cinema, sa movies.
Okay.
Sa movie. So parang meron siyang talaga. It's lahat naman may tax dito, di ba?
Oo.
So
Lahat.
parang itataka ka pa na may entertainment tax. So parang siya, part ng yun.
Binabayad yun ng customer or ng I'm sure pinapass on lang din naman to the end customer.
Oo,
diba?
pinapass on lang din sa end customer yun. Pero nandun yun sa every movie that comes out, meron siyang ganon.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. And
Unless wave. Dati kasi merong ganon eh. When we had the CEB, the Cinema Evaluation Board, kapag yung grade mo mataas, like if you're an A, parang wini-wave yung taxes. Parang may wini-wave.
ito ba yung parang MTRCB ba yun?
Iba yung MTRCB.
Iba ba yun?
MTRCB is regulation. Like for example, okay, who can watch it?
Yung
What is
SPG.
It's a TV show.
Ang
yung
susunod na...
ang susunod na programa,
Ayan. Ang susunod na programa ay rated SPG.
may karahasan.
Yan.
ang di temang pangbata.
Violence. Yan, yan.
So, yung sa CEB yun yung may ratings ng evaluation board. Iba yung MTRCB yun yung rated R, PG, PG-13,
And who is
G.
the evaluation board?
It's comprised of filmmakers, different members of yung jury niya iba-iba per per film. If I'm not mistaken I'm not sure about the details of it.
Yeah.
But definitely they give a rating, and then there's kaya important yung rating na yun eh. Kasi dati merong mga na-waive na taxes. And that would be extra income for the film.
And that makes sense. And you also
That's an incentive eh.
reward output,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Na, "Hey, give me a good one and you'll get this break, right? Yeah. When it comes to, I mean, you've done a lot of movies, and like you shared, certain themes can present. Slow-mo is a style that you do, but you're yet to really maybe define yung style mo completely. No? Meron bang mga artista na medyo just get your style better than others?
Meron ba? I'm not sure. Well, I think it depends on the theme too.
Okay.
Basta ang important naman sa akin with my cast, or at least with my actors, is that kasi even with a director and an actor, there is chemistry. So
okay.
important din yung chemistry na yon.
How does that work?
So-
I mean, very clear for me yung, let's say, leading man sa leading lady, di ba? Kailangan
Yeah.
mukhang sila talaga.
Oo.
Kailangan nasasabayan nila yung emosyon ng bawat isa. Kailangan kinikilig yung audience, di ba? Believable and may spark. Paano naman yung chemistry ng director and actor or actress?
Well, like chemistry sa actors, natatrabaho yon. Merong iba na parang gets niya kaagad. Magtinginan lang kami, gets na nila. Or like when I give instructions, minimal, they get it right away. And then parang eksakto parang we're on the same wavelength, and
Yes,
they know
yes.
maybe shared experiences, parehong background and all, or in terms of, baka iba-ibang reasons.
Okay.
So, I would say, yon may chemistry kami kasi gets niya right away. Gets niya when I say something. Gets niya when
Gets.
even minimal supervision or guidance. Merong iba, tinatrabaho mo.
Gets.
And that's like in romance, minsan merong chemistry na walang attraction yung isa sa isa't isa eh. But then, natatrabaho yon.
Yes.
So, with that, kapag yung artista, wala kaming chemistry or at least merong, may disconnect, we, like with my staff, you try to find out what makes them work. Ano ang nagdo-drive sa kanila. And siguro yung sa quadrants
Yeah,
nga,
yeah.
di ba parang low skill, pero
Gets.
so, or,
Titimplahin mo.
or sometimes it's sometimes it's just immaturity in terms of experiences in life.
Got it.
Because sometimes parang they don't know that kind of pain because they haven't experienced it. Maybe.
Meron bang mga method actors tayo sa Philippines
Oo
na
naman.
talagang
Oo naman.
yun talaga yung style?
Oo, meron naman ganun.
So paano yun? Kung itong scene na to mabigat. Diba? Tapos hindi malabas nung artista yung emosyon na gusto mo.
Oo.
Paano mo siya kino-coach para mailabas yung...
It depends eh. It depends on the person. May mga tao kasi na, ito yung mahirap. May mga tao na may blocks. Like,
What do you mean?
meaning, ayaw nila mag-take na instructions. Like for example, kahit na hindi nag-work direct, hindi nag-work, ayaw nila patulong. Pag ganun, wala akong magagawa. Because no matter what I do, parang, it's not like I give up right away. Pero you can tell if there's a block, you're not getting through. So, iiba-ibahin mo yung way. Parang, okay, is it like, do you talk about the character more? Kasi sometimes yung personal doesn't work for them eh.
Yeah.
Maybe they're evading. Maybe they don't want to face their realities or their past or whatever. Sometimes naman, gusto nila yung pinag-uusapan yung past. Sometimes they prefer character. They can relate to the character. Or sometimes it's the emotion right now.
Okay.
So it really varies. And then, like, one actor, alam ko hindi na nag-work sa kanya yung past niya. So, I didn't even touch on that.
Gusto mo ba sabihin ko sino? Secret ba?
Hindi naman. Si Joshua. Kasi hindi na ilang taon na siya eh.
Okay.
So, whatever his past is or yung backstory niya in life, hindi na mag-work yun. Mas nag-work sa kanya yung character. So,
Okay.
parang, okay. And there's something about that character na he can relate to. Maybe the emotion at that moment. Like, meron kaming isang scene na umiiyak siya. Tapos parang he's just frustrated. He's frustrated because why did my mom have to die? That's the scene. Parang ganon. Bakit ganon? Ganyan. He's questioning. Pero yung quiet lang siya. Pero makita mo that the tears are there. Meron lang siya sasabihin. But he's frustrated. Emotion is frustration. And then I said, okay, how are you feeling? And then, syempre, you start with that eh. You have to know how they're feeling. And then he said, pagod na ako. And then, okay, pagod na ako.
Yeah.
So, parang pagod na ako. Gaano ka kapagod? And then, pagod na ako. Pagod na ako. And then, sige, sigaw mo. Pagod na ako. So, ganyan. Tapos bigla na lang, ayun na.
Yeah.
And then, okay, he's there. He's there na. And then, sometimes naman, parang, alam na nila, they get to prepare in advance. So, parang hindi mo na anuhin. But, usually, it's something na, something that is familiar to them. Something that they know well. Whether it's at the moment na feeling, sometimes it's the character. And then, iba-iba talaga.
And how long does that usually take? Like, to get the right emotion in place? Kasi I'm sure pag kunwari iiyak, hindi naman yan instant mami na biglang iiyak eh, di ba? Minsan, siguro especially if method or may paghuhugutan siyang past experience to bring out the right emotion, that will take some time, di ba? So ano yun, parang hihintayin nyo na ready na siya for that scene?
Depends. Sometimes we do. Like merong isa, sabi ko, I need the tears here. And then sabi ni Josh, parang iyak ba ako dito? Parang hindi ako iiyak kasi diba dapat ganito yung feeling. So, we discussed it. And I said, no, kasi, so I had to explain where his character is coming from. So parang nabigla siya, so he had to prepare. Usually naman I give them time kasi hindi naman every scene, ganun kayo. Especially wala kayong oras at nagmamadali na kayo. Especially pag TV series. Anyway, so we did that scene and then ready na siya. Pero na-feel ko that midway, nawawala kasi siguro dahil hindi nga siya
Natural.
buo eh.
Yeah.
So just before the scene nag-cut ako sa just before the scene I called I radioed Call Kaloy, Carlo Aquino. Kasi yung role niya doon is the brother, di ba? And it's okay to not be okay. And then I said, tell Kaloy to say, Pat, wag mo ko iwan, in his mat voice. And so habang nung nagsiscene, parang nagsasalita, dialogue, and then tell Kaloy to speak. Kaloy. And then, Pat, wag mo kong iwan. Because meron silang bond. And feel na niya na kuya niya si Carlo. Kumbaga parang, ando na siya he has internalized being Patrick. And and yung pinanggalingan na scene kasi, iniwan niya, he walked out and left him and followed Anne. So nung naggaganon yung si Carlo on the side, na voice lang, bigla siyang umiyak, naawa siya dun sa kapatid niya. Parang na-feel niya yung parang, wag mo kong iwan, Pat.
May mga ganyang technique pala, no?
Tapos merong iba, like in the last movie that I did, iba yung papasabi ko instead of yung dialogue kasi backshot lang naman eh. So I would say na itong sabihin mo, tell him like this, tell him like that. Para iba yung maramdaman, para magulat. Kasi yung reaction dapat nung guy, parang nagulat siya and then parang nagigilty siya. So I was telling the girl to say something na would make him feel guilty. Parang ganito, ganyan. Then, so nagulat siya. So kita mo yung gulat niya and then parang yung lump sa throat, hindi mo maaarte yun. Yung parang biglang ang kapal nung
Gets.
gumanon
Yung
siya.
natutuyo na ayaw mo lunukin kasi pag linunok mo, maluluha ka.
Parang,
Alam ko yung feeling na yun eh.
so parang gumanon siya talagang, and then alam mong hindi pa siya pwedeng umalis. So, nahihiya siya, nanliliit siya, and then hindi siya makatingin doon sa girl. It all was just so natural because of what she was saying. So sometimes parang, especially when you do rehearsal, after rehearsal, take after take, namamanhid na sila doon sa dialogue. Not everyone, especially when they're new.
Gets,
Diba? Na
gets.
parang kanina pa sinasabi, wala nang feeling.
Naubos na.
Oo, nauubos sila eh. So sometimes you have to do that or like merong iba na parang you're diba, this is how do you feel? You're hurt. Bakit ka hurt? Tapos ano yung nangyayari sa scene? Kanino? Who's hurting you right now? Parang maraming
Grabe, no? I can imagine how tiring and stressful it
It
can
is. For a director kasi parang
Yeah.
feeling ko nga nagiging na kami. Parang schizo kasi ang
Gets.
dami multiple personalities kasi
Gets.
every person, every character dapat alam mo yung pinagdadaanan ng character and alam mo how to bring it out in every actor.
And the fact that you need to do it over and over again.
Yeah.
Diba?
And like meron akong artista before na hindi sa kanya nag-work yung real. For some reason,
When you say real, meaning real experience.
yeah, I mean like si Chin Gutierrez yun eh. So, hindi sa kanya nag-work yung parang like what happened to her mom. Kasi nung time na yun, nasunog house nila. And then, she had to save her mom. And then, her mom passed away. Iisipin mo na ang dali na for her to be able to
Emote.
cry, ganyan. Sometimes, pag meron mga major events like that, some actors even shut it out because they don't want to feel it. So, hindi mo you have to respect that. You cannot,
Hindi mo magagamit.
Oo, kasi parang alam mo na hindi, natatakot silang pasukin yun, natatakot silang pasukin
Parang mali
yun.
naman na din, di ba?
Oo. And then, you have to know if it's okay or if it's not okay. May ethics din naman.
Yeah.
Na just, you will not do everything just to get the shot. There's a level of how is it going to affect them. But anyway,
May moments din na it's not okay to not be not okay, no?
oo, totoo. So, like, I remember yung na yon, she is passionate about parang mga current events, world news.
Yeah.
Meron siyang ganon.
Yeah.
So, biglang sinabi niya, Direk, I need help. So, parang ako, oh no, anong iniisip niya? So, I said, what are you thinking of right now? And then she said, I'm thinking of the poor children in the streets. So ako parang, poor children in the streets? Paano ko ito Paano ko siya motivate using poor children in the streets? So, so parang tahimik ako. And then I just said something about, parang how it's so unfair sa society that the rich are getting richer and ganyan-ganyan. Tapos gumaganon siya, nagagalit siya, tapos mami umiiyak na siya. And then the children, imagine they are the recipient of that. Sila yung kawawa, ganyan-ganyan. And then bigla lang, okay, I'm ready. So, nag-work sa kanya yun. So,
Talaga?
so parang kanya-kanya talaga, iba-iba
Okay.
Merong iba, hawakan mo lang yung kamay. And then
Alam na.
it helps na them because they feel like someone's holding them, or sometimes a hug, or sometimes titigan lang kayong dalawa, or sometimes you play music. It depends. So every person iba-iba, and you have to study it. You have to get to know your actors
Yeah.
so that it becomes very personal also.
Okay.
Merong ibang actors nagsasabi sa akin na parang, Direk, I don't wanna use my personal kasi I'm a mother na now. I cannot use it. I don't wanna bring it home. I don't wanna be burdened by yung bigat na yon.
Yeah.
So parang ako, okay. And then, but if, yung parang alam ko naman pag, okay lang. Sometimes, parang, you you don't wanna tread on yung i-disrespect mo. But you also know, if you know the person well enough, you know when it's okay. Alam mo pag pwede. Kasi parang may iba talagang just to get the shot, sige.
So you really also need to spend a lot of time and get to know your talents and your
Oh,
actors and actresses.
yeah.
No? Kasi I can imagine it's in your chemistry talaga, and to have that winning shot, you have to have that winning moment, winning emotion, to be able to convey the message the way it needs to be conveyed.
Like merong isa, he said that I know ina-avoid niya to talk about yung daughter niya. There's this other actor. So alam ko, okay, so I don't use it. Pero there was one time, it was so appropriate The scene was very appropriate that I use it, or like I mentioned the daughter. It's not in a disrespectful way naman. Pagka-mention ko pa lang ng pangalan, gumanon na agad sa mata, kita ko na yung emotion So, and then he said later on na, I have been avoiding using that, but thank you. So, iba-iba Alam mo when you can use it. Alam mo rin, you have to spend a lot of time to know the person enough para alam mo if it's okay, and also to know what techniques can be used.
Grabe. Iba din pala, no? Ako may newfound deeper appreciation ako in the whole process of a movie. Like now, I think after this conversation, when I watch a movie and there's a certain scene on screen, parang mapapasip ko, ano kaya yung ginagamit nila dito ngayon? Or ano kaya yung hugot na ginamit? Or paano kaya nila nagawa tong emosyon na to, no? Parang hearing now the whole process gives me a far deeper appreciation and respect and amazement sa directing and acting.
I learned from my mentors. I mean, hindi naman, kasi like ako rin naman, I didn't know how to do that or that can be done. But and that the appreciation also happened when I saw how they were doing it. When I was an assistant director to all these other directors, ang daming directors ko nakatrabaho. But, sila Inang, sila Direk Rory. Yeah. I learned a lot from them on how to do it and how to motivate actors.
Galing.
One time, I'll tell you a story. Nung time I was doing the show, Magkaribal, and I was handling the love stories there. And then, inupo kami ni Charo Santos Concho, ni CSC, and she said, sino gumawa nitong mga scenes na to? Hindi ko maramdaman. Walang love, walang feeling. So sinabi, ako nga yung nagdidirect. And she said, what's the problem Bakit hindi mo mailabas? Bakit hindi ako kinikilig sa kanila? Hindi ko nararamdaman yung pagmamahal. Number one, artista sila. Pag artista sila, kahit hindi sila attracted to each other, dapat alam nilang i-arte yon. That's part of the job. And you, as a director, it's your job na tulungan mo sila or ilabas mo yon. And then she asked, naninimbang ka ba sa artista mo? Are you walking on eggshells with them? Hindi mo ba sila kayang kausapin?
Okay.
Hindi mo ba natatakot ka bang Kasi there is a difference between knowing na parang, hindi nila gusto to, ay, naninimbang ka na. And knowing na parang, hindi, sabi mong ayaw mo, gagawin ko pa rin kasi kailangan mo to eh. 'Di ba? Parang that's part of the job. I'm doing it as a director.
Yeah.
So meron siyang balance. There
Yeah.
is a balance ng naninimbang ka na ba because you're just scared of them. You don't wanna hurt their feelings.
And then sacrificing the actual
Oo.
output.
Oo.
Diba?
But also at the same time, alam mo rin pag kunwari, disrespectful 'yon. Yung parang that's such a very touchy topic. Wag mo namang gawin 'yun.
Yeah. Yeah. Kasi pag magaling din yung kwento talaga, iba din yung kilig talaga din eh, no? Pag na-portray din talaga ng maganda and alam mong authentic or at least it's projected to be authentic. Iba din eh. May parang kilig moment talaga eh na hindi mo ma-explain. And it only happens talaga pag the whole ensemble is working.
Mahirap, yun nga parang sinasabi nga nila, ay rom-com na naman, ay kilig. Ang hirap kaya magpakilig. Ang hirap ng
Correct.
especially if your actors are not in a relationship. Or even if they're in a relationship at nag-aaway sila habang sinushoot mo yon. So I've experienced that na parang magkaaway habang sinushoot mo kilig scene. Paano mo naman papakiligin yun?
Correct.
Yun yung mga moments na parang utang na loob, tigilan nyo yan, nagtatrabaho tayo dito. So parang yes. Okay.
Or yung away scene muna.
Parang ano yan parang it's really reminding them also na, oy, artista kayo. Don't bring your personal problems sa set.
Yeah.
Because hindi namin problema yan. Problema nyo yan. Pag-away kayo after the take. Pero habang nandito tayo, do your job. It's your job.
Wow.
Trabaho mo yan, umarte ka.
Ang common din na na yung ka-love team nagkakatuluyan din talaga. I guess.
Nagkaka-developan kasi lagi magkasama.
Lagi magkasama.
Kilig yung
Gwapo
scene.
naman, maganda naman. Tapos titigan kayo sa mata, 'di ba? Siguro naman. Normal lang 'yun, no? 'Di ba?
Nagkaka-developan talaga eh. Pero syempre, ang hirap nung talagang sila. Tapos nun yun nga, because nadadala yung personal sa set. Tapos pag biglang hindi na sila pero nagsushoot pa rin kayo.
Tsaka dyan yung fan clubs talagang they rave talaga. I
Oo.
remember I'd watch mga premiere showing. Lalabas lang yung artistang isa, sisigaw lahat.
Yeah.
Ng fans niya. Lalabas yung isa, sisigaw lahat. Pag dalawa sasabay, kagulo sa buong movie house.
Kasi kasi parang kilig na kilig sila. Pero hindi, parang like, I have to give it to like the John Lloyd Bea films na, and John Lloyd Sarah, na hindi naman sila, pero oozing with kilig and chemistry and alam mo parang mabenta sila sa fans, they have their fan bases. Kasi, magaling silang artista.
Yeah.
Kayang-kaya nila kayang-kaya nila i-pull off yon even if hindi sila. Pero yung fans, tanggap na tanggap yon. Yung mahirap lang talaga pag kunwari they expect na maging sila.
Oo. Tapos pag may nakitang ibang kasama na hindi naman in real life, 'di ba? Sila lang sa movie pero in real life may ibang kasama, babash pa yung kasama.
Oo, kawawa yung lalo ngayon wala nang nakakalusot kasi syempre there's social media.
Correct.
If you go out sa mall, mapipicturean kayo, ipopost na yun na parang, ay, nakita ko si ganyan. Everyone's got a phone. Everyone has access to, people seeing it. Ay, nako. Mahirap ngayon.
Crazy then. And nakakatawa na talaga emotionally invested din talaga yung fan base.
Nagugulat nga ako kasi like, someone, merong mga nag-message sa akin with my last film na, fan po ako dati ng Kathniel, na ngayon ay fan na ni ganito. Or dating fan po ako ng Liz Ken, na fan na ng ganito.
Yeah.
Or dati po akong, basta sila, nila talaga, they love it. I think Filipinos
Is that a
naman kasi,
Filipino thing? Or
I
parang,
think so. Kasi parang, I started watching romance films when I was a kid. The Gloria Romero and sino yung partner niya? Luis. And then meron ding partner si Jose Mari and si Rosemary. So, mga ano yun mga pinapanood ko noon.
Iconic na love team.
O mga pinapanood ko sila noon. And then, kinikwento sa akin, naging teacher ko kasi si Jose Mari Gonzalez in UP. And then he told me that it was so hard to go to school kasi nag-try siya mag-aral sa UP. Tapos yung mga fans daw, nagkakagulo. Pinupuntahan daw siya, tapos napunit pa daw yung damit niya. So, hindi yan ngayon lang. Noon pa, may ganyan talaga ang, the fans. Beatles din, I mean, di ba?
Yeah.
Pero yung sa love team, iba
Parang
yung...
Pinoy lang yun no?
Well, tayo lang kasi yung meron talagang love team na ganyan. Hindi naman ganun sa ibang bansa eh.
Yeah.
Iba-iba yung partners nila eh.
Yeah.
Dito talaga yung, Guy Pip,
Yeah,
di ba?
Yeah.
So I think that's Pinoy only.
Why do you think that's so? Is it because of the way the love teams were built up, or do you think there's some
Yung phenomena ng love teams.
some Filipino human insight that they're just really fond of pairings of two good-looking people? May
Siguro
theories ka ba, or
alam mo, I think mahilig kasi talaga sa romance ang Pinoy. Talagang I think yun yung influence ng ating mga the Spaniards, di ba? Parang passionate, ganyan, yung love. So, gusto natin ng love stories. I remember when I was in high school, ang sinabi nun na ang top radio station, I thought was like a pop station, like 89.9, ganyan. Apparently, it was the Mellow Touch, which played love songs all day long. And then sinabi, ang analysis doon was because 94.7, the Mellow Touch.
94.7, that's
94.7, the Mellow Touch. So, sabi nila na parang it was because, yun nga, di ba kahit na karaoke, love songs ang binibirit nila, di ba? Pag kunwari, malungkot ka, ang birit mo, love song. Pag kunwari, masaya ka, kakanta ka rin ng love song. Parang, talaga, we are in love with love. That's why love stories are a hit in the Philippines. Malaki ang market sa Pilipinas niyan. Kasi nga, gustong-gusto natin ng mga love stories. Gustong-gusto natin kinikilig. Gusto natin ng ganon. For some reason yun talaga eh.
Pati parang, di ba, it's not just the nurture, it's all, parang nga, nature na din eh. Kasi yung pamangkin ko, 3 years old pa lang, parang ang hilig na hanap ng girlfriend. Tapos yung isa kong pamangkin na 6 years old. Di namin alam kung sino nagturo sa kanya, pero may crush na. Tapos gagawing asawa na daw niya
Oh my
yung
gosh.
kaklase niya.
Nakakaloka.
Mana siguro sa tatay yun. Pero ewan ko, nakakatuwa. But yes, I would have to agree that Filipinos, I mean, that's why rom-coms or dramas are so successful in the Philippines. It's because we love love, like you said. Yeah.
Mahilig sa love eh.
Yeah.
Time immemorial, as in, parang hindi nawawala. Although, nag-evolve. Kasi parang iba-ibang levels na ng love stories. It's not, kumbaga parang kung ang formula noon ay like this, nag-iiba siya.
Rich and poor, and then ngayon, iba na.
Tapos nagkaroon ng hugot face, di ba?
Hugot,
Tapos
right.
iba-iba eh. Pero essentially, they are love stories. And essentially, they are portrayed by couples. Parang, and I think yung rin, yung combination yun eh. Merong innate fanaticism ang Pinoy. Makita mo naman sa religion, di ba? Makita mo lang yung sa Nazareno, di ba? The way we are fanatics.
Yeah. Devoted.
Devoted eh. Parang ganun talaga ang Pinoy. The way we show it.
Yeah.
Di ba? There's that fanaticism sa Philippines talaga, sa mga Filipinos. Number 2, mahilig sa love. So, parang i-combine mo yung fanaticism and mahilig sa love. Mahilig sa love stories and they love love. Ano siya? Parang yun yung result. Meron kang mga love teams na merong na suportado sobra ng kanilang mga fans.
Meron ka bang work na masabi mo na this is the hit that will define my legacy? Or, of course, syempre ayaw mo din naman na yun, di ba? Gusto mo, always the next one will be better than the previous one. Pero so far, ano yung parang masasabi mong your signature movie?
Alam mo, honestly, hindi ko alam talaga. Kasi it's not like I do it na parang ito ang mark ko or ito ang
Okay.
may parang in hindsight, I'd say maybe rewind siguro.
Yeah.
Siguro rewind. I think kasi nandun din yung maturity on kasi nung una before rewind came, I would say it would be Bride for Rent because it was it was a film that I did nung year na ikakasal ako before we
Okay.
got married.
Okay.
And then I was asked by my was she creative manager at that time, si Carmi Raimundo. She asked me, Direk, what do you want to say in this movie? And then she said, well, coming from the perspective of someone who's about to get married. And then I said, well, during this time kasi, ang daming mistress movies. And I just want people, and parang nafa-forget na yung value of marriage and commitment. And I just want people to be inspired to get married and to commit. Because for me, iba yung commitment. Parang yung commitment is you're sealing the deal. And that is what I want to impart sa movie na to. And that's why nung kumita siya, when it made a lot of money, it was a box office hit, I was so happy kasi parang feeling ko, ang daming nakakita nun and they got the message. And then somebody even messaged me, sinabi na, ang saya, parang gusto kong ikasal, gusto kong maniwala ulit sa kasal at maniwala ulit sa commitment. Kasi others are parang ayaw na mag-commit, parang ganon. So that was me before I got married. Rewind, on the other hand, is me being married
Yeah.
and me having gone through so much more in life. And this is the older self reminding people again the value of, and then you go beyond lang the commitment to yung that kind of love. We mentioned earlier yung parang how do you love? And we're not talking about romantic love or love dun sa asawa lang eh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's love in general.
Yeah.
How do you love?
Yeah.
And you love so much that you're willing to give yourself, which is rooted in faith.
Yeah.
Because how much did Jesus love
Yeah,
us? He
yeah.
gave himself up.
Yep. Yep.
And that film for me spoke about my values, my faith, family, everything that I
So it was
wanted
personal
to say.
to you.
It was very personal.
Would
to
you
me.
say every film is personal to you?
It is?
But-
I
but-
always try to find something naman na I will latch on to. So
But-
that it will be para malabas mo yun eh.
Correct. Pero ito was a different kind of personal, I
Oh
guess.
yeah, yeah.
And going back to what we were talking about a while ago, timing din. It was a movie people maybe needed or
Yeah.
wanted at that time. Yeah.
Meant to be nga.
And any other advocacies that you have? And maybe any tips or maybe words of advice to any aspiring film director?
Well, okay, number one, marami. Actually, pwede ako magka-podcast just talking about a whole
Please,
episode
please.
a whole episode on advice eh.
Yeah.
But one is there is a social responsibility in becoming a filmmaker, a director. Because the medium speaks to so many people at the same time. The reach is wide. And so when you send out a message, when you project a message or you speak about something, you have a social responsibility because that is going to affect people. Film is supposed to do that. It's supposed to affect people. It's supposed to make them see a different view, and it has to, parang merong napapaisip ka eh. And your message is something that's very important. May social responsibility ka kung ano yung sinasabi mo because of what you are telling them to do or how they can feel. So, yon, that's one. remember that you have a social responsibility, a huge responsibility to your audience. It's on you how they will change. Number
And maybe sometimes it's even changing them without them knowing it.
Yes. Yes, convincing them that tama ba yung beliefs nila, ganyan. Number two, this is actually from Direk Marilu Diaz Abaya. She said na, ano na to ang pagdidirect hindi lang siya career. Ano na siya, shucks, nawawala yung word na ngayon, bigla nag-slip sa mind ko. But ano na siya, parang it's like a vocation, yun. It's a vocation. It's a mission.
Yeah.
You don't do it because what? Accolades, you want to win awards, earn money, etc. It is a mission because storytelling is, like what I said, imparting values. So you have a mission when you do this. You have a mission in spreading good values and affecting people and leading them. Na parang makakaano ka eh. It can change society actually.
Yeah.
Ganon siya kaano. So it is a mission.
Yeah.
So don't think of the money. Don't think of the... It will come. But it's not something na dapat ang first and foremost or your main reason for doing it. What else? Believe in what you're... the message that you're sending across. Kasi sometimes uso or maybe, oh, this is what people will want to watch.
Yeah.
Parang ano lang yan or parang, yan ang ano nang mabenta yan sa mga bagets or mabenta to sa mga ganito. Itong target market natin. Let's tell this story because ganyan. You have to really believe in it.
Did you ever say no about that last point? Did you ever say no to, let's say, a certain direction or a certain turn in a movie because it just didn't sit well with you in terms of the values that you think storytelling or movies should give to people? May nagkagano'n ka na ba moments? Because I understand what you're saying na, syempre, at the end of the day, it's a business, di ba? And there are times when what the right thing is different from what's the popular thing, right?
Yeah.
Or sometimes what's right for you is different from what's right for another person,
Yeah.
right? And it being a business, diba? Sometimes the pressure to give into the commercial side of things, sacrificing the art or maybe the purpose is there. Nagka-experience ka na ba na ganun and how'd that pan out?
Yeah. Remember I mentioned earlier na I was always second unit. I was never given a break. Ganyan. Then suddenly, someone approached me and said, "Hey, I'll give you a project, and you're going to be the lead." So I was so excited kasi, oh wow, finally I'm going to be it's my time to shine.
Yeah.
And then what's the concept? And then sinabi na, oh, it's simple. It's ang gusto lang naman namin dito, it's kind of sexy. And gusto lang namin yung pag pinalabas mo to, parang ang pakiramdam mo parang namboboso lang yung lalaki sa babae. Parang ganon. Parang ako, yun yung vision. And you're telling a girl na parang, ganon dapat ang ma-feel nung nanonood na binobosohan yung babae. How would I feel? Na parang...
That you took part in that.
And ako yung ganon ang feeling nyo And then, so syempre ako parang nun, I was tormented kasi parang ang feeling ko, wow, big break ko na to. I'm going to have my own. And then, but this is the vision. And then so I was talking to my best friend about it. And then she said, think of it this way, May. If merong sabi niya, that's free TV. And everyone has access to it. If a boy rapes someone, or like a boy rapes another girl because of the show na na-influence siya dahil nga of how it's affecting him, that's on you. So ako parang,
Damn.
parang ang you have to think 10 steps ahead din na parang how is it going to affect someone who's going to have access to this? Hindi mo makokontrol how it's going to affect people. Like what we said, it plants seeds.
Yeah.
And it can be a bad seed.
Yeah.
that can be planted.
Yeah.
So parang, ayoko nga nung ganon. So I had to beg off. Even if it meant na, okay, I'm going back to ano. And because hindi yun yung ano ko, I don't share the same um, vision and value. So parang hindi ko kaya. Hindi ko kayang gawin yun because of the thought na ganon. And then sinabi nga, sana ginawa mo na lang is inano mo to... Kasi nung time na yun, dun pa lang natakot na ako. Kasi my first
Buti di mo sinampal, siguro.
hindi naman. Kasi
Hindi naman.
parang,
Kasi,
what I could have done, my mistake was, I could have slanted it in a way na hindi yun lang ang vision.
gets.
'Di ba? Na parang what is the repercussion of this? What is yung parang meron kang social values na pwede mong na-impart din. You could have pwede mo namang na-twist yon or pwede mong siyang pwedeng nag-evolve yung story. It doesn't have to be that. So that's what I learned in the process na parang in hindsight, that's what I could have done pala. Sabi kasi, sana ginawa mong malamalena. Parang, oo nga, hindi ko naisip yun, nagpanik ako kasi bata pa ako noon eh. But then, that's a lesson learned. So now, if ganyan, kasi hindi ka ma-intimidate sa ganun lang agad and then right away yun ang thinking mo.
Yeah.
There is a way of telling the story in a way na parang, okay, you are still imparting values, not
Okay.
necessarily
Yeah.
to have that kind of effect.
Yeah. I think so from what I'm hearing, talagang direct responsibly. No? And yeah, it there will come a time when you have to choose what kind of director you will be, what kind of storyteller you'll be, and choosing and aligning your values over anything commercial is what makes you at peace.
Yeah. Kasi yan kanya-kanyang values yan eh.
Yeah.
I mean, if others are okay to do that, to tell that story,
Then that's
sila yun eh.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
them.
not me.
Okay.
So, it's not me. So, kung sila they're comfortable doing that, they might be able to tell the story better.
Yeah.
Sila na lang yun. But
Yeah.
that's not my
yeah, I mean, diba, malungkot din if you're doing something that's not you.
Yeah.
Diba? So
It shows. It'll show.
it'll show.
It'll show. Makikita na half-hearted, hindi siya, and people will feel it. Just like actors din, parang, di ba, makikita mo pag hindi talaga love.
Yeah. Well, any exciting projects?
Well, they are exciting projects, but I cannot say what they are. But there is a series coming up that we will be doing very soon, that will be airing soon. This year.
Yeah.
And another film of an exciting story and a couple that will be starring in it is also someone to look forward to. So, yun lang. Masasabi
Ano
ko.
yan? Mga up-and-comer ba yan? Or mga household names na ba yan?
Hindi, yan. Mga sikat na sila.
Sikat na. Wow, interesting, exciting.
Yeah. So, I like that, the series that I'm doing is a different genre. A genre I've never really done.
What kind
So,
of genre?
Basta mystery suspense siya na hindi kagaya ng It's Okay. Kasi iba yung sa It's Okay eh. So, it's something that I've never done. So, it's something new for me. Medyo mas adult siya. Mas mature in terms of yung complexities nun sa story. But, it's something I've never really done. So, that's new for me.
And it'll be in a streaming platform.
First, initially.
Okay.
And then, eventually, sa rin. For broadcast, for free TV too.
Okay.
And then the film, I like it. I'm going back to my core, which is family drama. So,
Okay.
yung parang I'm back home. So,
Yeah.
Yun.
In your element.
yeah.
Okay.
So I like that there are challenges for this year. There's a challenge of a series and one that is, something that's familiar, but I've missed.
And directors usually have how many projects in a year?
Varies eh. It depends eh. For me, Well, I'm under contract with ABS-CBN.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I usually do like a series and a film. One series, one film. Kasi ang series alone is like half a year na eh.
Okay. So
And the film is like what? Minimum 3 months. Parang
Okay.
ganun. Or like
Okay.
3 months. So, ubos na yung time mo kasi there's pre-production pa and all.
Yeah.
And time to breathe. I need
Okay.
time to breathe.
Well, Direct, this has been wonderful. I super appreciate the conversation, and I'm looking forward to your next projects. And hopefully, we have you again soon, and let's talk more about these exciting projects to come.
Sure, sure. And hopefully, either I appear here or you appear in my show.
Why not? Why not? I'm waiting for the invite.
Yes, parang rewind lang at the right time, it will happen.
Yeah. Baka pag kailangan ng kusinero doon or kargador. Pwede naman,
Ang
pwede
gwapo
naman.
naman kargador nun.
Pwede naman. Sabihan mo lang ako direct, mag-file ako ng leave. So,
Thanks for having me too, Jolo.
no, thank you. It means a lot. And hopefully this conversation, this storytelling session that we had will have that impact, or at least provide a bit of perspective and appreciation to what happens behind the scenes, and what it takes to start and become successful in the film industry. So thank you.
Thanks, too. Thanks for the opportunity to share to the viewers and to the listeners.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today, guys. So thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you again soon. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.